This week, I want to show you how to make a gluten-free bread from lentils. Actually, 10 years ago, even myself thought that like really good bread can only be made by wheat or like few other stuff, but usually wheat is the winner. But actually from almost all kinds of seeds, we can make bread. And a lentil is actually one of them. The lentil that we make soup with, the lentil that we make dal with can turn into a great bread. And to tell you the truth, many of the gluten-free flours that people send me, which are really processed, usually don't feel very well. I don't feel very well and I don't think that they taste really well. But this is this ordinary lentil and very easily I want to show you how to turn it into bread. Then I want to take you to a next level, making a savory cake out of it. There's gonna be cheese, onions, dill, and it's gonna be great. Here I have 2 cups of lentils. You can use there's the yellow lentil, thinner one. You can use any kind of lentil, including the green lentils as well. I'm going to just wash it through. Normally, when we make bread, what we do is like the seed, it's grinded in some place and it becomes like a dust. Of course, we cannot grind this in our home conditions, so we're gonna do something different. We're gonna wet this. It's already wet, sorry guys, but I'm just gonna put some water and let it sit at least 4 hours, preferably overnight. Then it's gonna turn into something like this. What happens is, as it sits in the water, this is exactly the same lentils. It soaks the water up, starts to crack, and that's what we want. But if this stays for another night, the taste won't be good because it will soak too much water. The water I put was drinking water because it's gonna soak it, so it's very important. I'm gonna sieve this and then lentils are gonna get in to the food processor. This is gonna be the grinding in home conditions. You might ask, Refika, okay, we do this from lentils, then we can do it with other seeds. Yes, you can do it with other seeds. If you don't have a big processor but a smaller one, do this in 2 batches. Now, as you can see, this is like a puree. I'm gonna just take half of it out to create space. I add a cup of yogurt.
Could it be sour cream?
It's gonna be heavier if it's a sour cream. It shouldn't be a sweet yogurt. 4 eggs. So unfortunately this is not vegan, but we can one day make a vegan version of this as well. In Turkey, our baking powders are sold in these small packs of 10 grams. 2 packs of baking powder, which is in total 20 grams, teaspoon of salt, and 60 milliliters of olive oil. Usually some not so well grinded stuff will be here, so add them in. That's all. Here we go. Because there are a lot of liquids.
You took half of it out, but the measures you put in was for the whole.
Yeah, it was for the whole because it won't be able to fit in the processor. When I mix it, it becomes thicker. If you like your bread very salty, you can add a bit more salt. But that's it. Here I have a tray, the extra olive oil, some more olive oil. Rub it with my hands. As you can see, the baking powder starts to work and there are bubbles. If you're using a baking soda, usually it's much bitter, so you have to use much less. And this is ready. You can just do it plain, or you can add some Nigella and some sesame seeds, like this. And this puree is ready to go to the oven. And the oven is 180 degrees, top and bottom, with no fan on. It's gonna cook here about 35 minutes in the middle. Turning the fan on while you heat up the oven is a great idea, guys. Like if you just turn on the oven, you have to wait for a while. If you turn on the fan on, it's gonna heat up faster. Now my bread is in the oven. Now I want to take the idea of, okay, the bread, same mixture, same way I did the same thing. Now I want to turn it into a savory cake. And for that I have 250 grams of halloumi. We can use 200 grams, but because now it's for you guys, I'm going to use the whole pack, which is 250 grams.
But it could be any kind of cheese, I guess.
No. If it's a very meltable cheese, like if it goes away, it will just like melt. And then when it goes dry, it's not gonna be very good. It could be mozzarella, feta cheese would do. Fresh cheese would be better as well. I put 4 sprigs of spring onions and a lot of dill. Dill goes really well. You can use parsley. Basil would also be very good. And half a teaspoon of coarsely crushed black pepper. This is black, red, white together. And I'm gonna mix it well. Would you like me to add olives?
Then it becomes a bita.
Very close to bita. From normal bread, we have a Cypriot bita bread recipe. It's here. It's very much like it. Yes, you're right. We use not spring onions, but other dried onions. Okay, then blup, 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 blup. I already oiled the tray. Now I used deeper and smaller tray. Nigella comes in. I do this for my mom because for a while now she doesn't eat gluten. She loves it. And this also goes to my oven, 180 degrees. If you like our videos and like watching us, please subscribe to our channel and also show it by pressing like. And if you want to share anything about this video or any recipes, or if you have any questions, also please write them below. That really changes a lot for us, guys. Thank you. Çok teşekkür. Now my bread is ready and it's cooling down, but I want to also show you to check whether it's done. For example, when I put it in and take it out, as you can see, the knife is clean. But I'm going to also poke in the middle here. Oh, this is also clean, it's done. There are little leftovers like this. If it's like more messy, it's not done, but it's clean like this. This needs a minute or two, then it's ready. It depends on the tray. So what I'm going to do, I cooled it a bit. It would be better if it's totally cold, but I'm just making sure that the sides are free, the edges as well. Unfortunately, we don't know why, but it's because probably the type of the lentil. This got out to be more orange than usual. But I want to show you how fluffy it is
Yeah.
and how bread-like it is.
Because the crust is not as crunchy as bread, it always looks like a cake.
But how does it taste?
But when you eat it, it's really a bread.
Yeah, it's really a bread. And it's very nice. It's too nice. Maybe in your tradition there's cornbread. It's very much like a cornbread. Yes, this baby is also done.
Why it has risen?
No, the tray is smaller, so it was higher. So it took a little more time to cook. Now we're dying to eat it and it's almost 6 o'clock here and everyone wants to go home after eating this, but we have to wait for a while because if I cut it right now, it's going to be mushy inside.
Yeah, we will not be able to eat it.
No, we're going to wait. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Can you give me a piece?
Of course.
The smell of the dill, the cheese.
Nigella.
I think even just the taste of lentil is more than enough. We should try this.
It's really going to be very different than what you imagine. And you'll be very surprised. It's magical. So hope you try it.